Hey, what's up everybody? This is Easy Speeds and Feeds, and I'll show you guys how to make a stock model. So here's the part, and this is what it's supposed to look like. We've already turned it down on the lathe, and we've just cut off this backside straight, and we haven't put the hole in. But we need to visualize that so we can machine this thing properly. So we have to build a stock model. First, we're going to create a new level. We're just going to call it stock model post lathe. Okay, there we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy the part to this level. And now we're just going to modify this part to look into, so it looks like what our part looks like after the lathe operation. So just kind of like a slug with a radius on the end. So we're just going to use wireframe and we use extrude. Click create body, we'll go 2 inches. And click the check. So that part's done. Next we have to get that hole, because we didn't put that hole in on the lathe. So we will do the same thing, use wireframe. Type in the correct diameter. Click the check. And now we just do the same thing, extrude it 4 inches. So that's a perfect blend right there. Click the check. Now lastly, we want to extrude the large diameter up a little bit because we didn't machine it right to size. We left 10 thou so we could face it. So we'll go plus 10. Click the check. Next we're going to go to Boolean, and this allows us to take all the different solids and make them into one. So just add all those together. Can't forget the middle part. Click the check, and then click the check again. So this is looking more like what's coming off the lathe. So there's our solid, and here's our piece of stock. We'll change the color for better visual representation. Okay, yellow, nice. So that's good and all, but what we want to do is use that and verify with a compare so we can really machine this thing accurately. So we're going to right click and we're going to go all the way down to stock model in our toolpath tab. And we're going to click on model. Then we're just going to select what we created. And we click the check. And a stock model is actually a toolpath. So that toolpath is activated. And you can ghost it, but yeah, it's a toolpath. And that's because you can have different stock models for different toolpaths, like different operations. So we want to turn that stock model on in simulator options. Click the check. And we try to verify it here, but we don't have any toolpaths, so we need to create a toolpath. So we try to do a silhouette boundary here. But when we try to chain that wireframe, it doesn't seem to work. So what we end up doing is just activating level 3 and just choosing the solid itself. Usually we wouldn't do that, but the purposes of this video is a stock model and verify, so we're just kind of throwing something together. So we call it tool 1, just throw some speeds and feeds in there. Depth is not 10,000, we won't go to 0. It's spat out 10 because we clicked on the stock model solid. So there's the tool path. Delete that one that we don't need. Click yes. Now we can select our first op and we can click verify. So as you can see, the stock model is in verify. Now we can use that with the compare button, and if you click that green button right there, this will tell you how much stock you have left on your part. So right now the compare is set to plus or minus 10 thou. So it's comparing the stock model we created to the part itself plus or minus 10 thou. So the green area is plus or minus 10 thou. The blue area is 20 to 40 thou or 40 thou to whatever, 100. You can change your tolerance to plus or minus 5, and then you can regen it. So as you can see, it was light blue, and then after we machined it, it was green. So we'll click the play button again. Here's our tool path just facing off the part. Now we can compare it and see, are we plus or minus 5 thou? And we are, except those other areas, like the hole going through and some of those angled surfaces. So this option is great for remachining things, secondary operations, and being just really accurate and careful. I hope you guys like this video. Check out the next one to see some 5-axis toolpaths, and have a good one.